There we go. All right, so last time we did this, we were doing a trigger shot.
Yeah.
And after all of our work, basically we ended up with only one embryo. So I'll get into that at some point much longer. But right now we are starting round 2 on IVF. Today's date is, and I'm just getting out the little alcohol pad swab thing. And I'm just going to right now, if you wanna, I don't know, film me, I guess. Like, yeah, nice and high. Oh. Yeah, I can't see.
Oh, you wanna see you?
Yeah.
Okay, because I can't see you.
That's okay.
All right.
So I'm going to, which side did I normally like doing?
You were changing it up, but it seemed like you were favoring your left side.
My left side. So here's, you know what, I'm gonna just take off, I'm working. Don't mind my Bacardi tank top here. It's hot, it's summer. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the left side.
Is that a little bit below the belly button?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And do my left side. My handsome husband mixed all the
potion.
The potion, that's what we call it. Mix the Minute Pure and the
Follistim.
Oh no.
You just pull it twists on, you just pull off to get the cap off. There you go.
I think I would have known this by now. I don't miss doing this, but it's all good. I feel like an expert now though. Okay, so the initial shock of the needles in, and then last time when I first did this, I went really slow, and I've learned the faster you do it, meaning like the faster you inject the actual medication in, kind of the easier it is. So here we go. It was a little slower than I would have liked to have done it. Oh, it hurts.
Wow.
But that hurt.
You're gonna be a pro at that.
Something I wouldn't want to be a pro at. Ideally, you know, I don't think we want to necessarily do this a lot, but you do what you got to do. And for us, it just made the most sense to do a second round of IVF. Even though we do have one good embryo, it's just that, so we're in the month of August, and real quick before I have to go back to my online teaching job, and don't get me wrong, this stings, like it hurts. This is not like a,
she's tough, she's muscling through it,
but I feel like I've done it already, and I ended up like overstimulating and had a real hard time the first time around, and I just feel like the shots are like the least
of your worries, or
worries, or they're the least of my problems at this point, you know. So anyway, we ended up with one embryo, so we decided to
do another round
just because one, financially we've already maxed out our deductible. Last time we did this, the medication was like over $3,000. This time it was about $1,400 because we've gotten really close to maxing out our out-of-pocket deductible for prescriptions. And not that everything is tailored around, you know, the economic side of things, like money and financial. It's just Justin and I know for a fact that we want to have more than one kid in the future. And the thing is like, we might as well take advantage of the financial opportunity with IVF first and foremost. Second of all, we are young now, and if we would have implanted the embryo, let's just say hypothetically that it did stick and we ended up having a baby, do I really want to do this a year or two from now, and then I might be 32 years old, and then, you know, your eggs become less, typically, or, you know, you have all that to contend with. And then Justin, we had to have his sperm frozen because he had to do the whole
like
surgery.
Surgery, I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
PSE.
Basically, it's like a spermal retrieval surgery where they go in and they remove sperm manually. It's not as simple as I'm making it out to be, but basically they retrieve it and then you freeze it. But FYI, from doing this journey, you find out that there are life expectancies, you know, by freezing stuff. You can't just ideally freeze something and then retrieve it 100 years later or 6 years later, and it's going to be as
good as it was.
As good as it was, you know, 6 years prior, or, you know what I mean? So you can't just like put it in the freezer and hope it's good. I don't want Justin to have to do that surgery again either. Like I said, we are covered today with insurance, but we don't know what the future entails. Justin could get a different job.
My job could stop having the same insurance.
His job switches insurances basically every year. And like my job, that I qualify now for their insurance, teaching, you only get 4 tries for IVF under their policy, which that sounds like, hey, we should be able to do it. Again, not guaranteed, and then we still have to go back and redo that entire deductible all over again. So basically we found out like 2 weeks ago, because we went ahead and did that PGS testing, which we were both like on the fence, like, do we do this, do we not do this, do we do this, do we not do this? And the only reason why we ended up doing it is because a lot of it got covered with insurance, and basically we played Clue Junior Detective for like 8 hours and found out it only costs about $150 per embryo to be tested. It's the doctors, the IVF doctors, who charge the $5,000, if that makes sense. So we ended up finding that out, and basically I talked my way into getting the test for very cheap from, yeah. That's a whole thing.
It's her talent.
It is a talent of mine. I can usually get bills and everything like reduced. And not that not that I'm calling up, you know, like the cable company every day saying, hey, you need to like lower my bill. But I sure as hell, that's a whole nother thing. But basically, like, so 2.5 weeks. So our first time that we did this, we had 19 eggs
retrieved,
which is really good. 10 made it to the fertilization on day 1. Fine, that's about expected. About half of eggs will mature into embryos. Then around day 6, we had 5, and we were like, I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed. I thought, what the heck, like, you go from 19 to 5, and not that I wasn't grateful, but I was like, what the heck, you know? And then Justin was like, oh no, I think that's wonderful, da-da-da. And then we had found out that we had 2 embryos that were 4 AAs, double A, so 4 double A. That's just like the embryo grading scale, and you want to have those high numbers, ideally. People pray for the numbers that we got, okay? We had 2 embryos that were a 3 AA, and then we had 1 embryo that was a, I think
3AB?
Was it 3 or 4A? I think it was a 4AB. Okay. But either way,
also good.
They were all good, regardless if it was a 3AB or a 4AB. So our doctor was like really pleased, and that's what, like, that was another thing. We weren't gonna do the PGS testing because of the embryo score that we had, which, by the way, only tells you like the shell itself,
like the morphology, I think is the
they use. The morphology, or, you know, the shell, basically the exterior. And we had the numbers, like I said, that people pray for, you know. And so I'm not even gonna lie, I was feeling all kind of cocky, like, yeah, I don't have to do this again. We're gonna have our kids. I want all 5 of them.
All 5.
Yeah, like, I was gonna have all 5 of those babies. Like, in my mind, that's what was gonna happen. I even was like, yeah, we have like the Ninja Turtles, and then we'll have like April. Like, that's just the way my mind goes, you know, total 90s kid. And then, like, I was on a Zoom meeting, because that's all life is right now, is Zoom calls and BS. And our doctor's office calls, the nurse calls and says, hey, Dr. So-and-so wants to set up an appointment with you to go over your PGS testing. Which, by the way, we were told was going to be like 2 weeks from
the day we sent it in.
The day we sent it in. So they came back like
3-4 days.
It was like 4 or 5 days. It was like really
less than a week.
Yeah, it was less than a week. And so I was like, dang, that was fast. Like, nothing in our life ever goes that fast, it feels like. So then I asked the stupid question, because in your heart you already know it's not good if like the doctor's calling or the office is calling. And she said, well, it's up, you know, your results are uploaded in the portal so you can go check them out and da-da-da. And I was like, were they bad? And she goes, no, which my dog just...
I haven't moved.
No, he just... So we... Rigby. Say hi, Rigby. Can you... If you heard him cry just now, he is so dramatic. Rigby, like even if you don't step on him or whatever, he'll just like cry. And it's like, why are you crying? Why are you crying all the time? But he does it kind of for like attention. He's just a world-renowned actor.
Drama queen.
Yeah, he's drama queen. He's a drama king. He's just drama. Rigby's just drama. Anyway, so like I said, she said, oh no, well, they're not bad. Which I start reading the test results right away, because I'm like, no, I'm just like, my heart is going, my adrenaline's dumped. I like log in, and I swear it took a million years just to get in. And the results came back that all but one was normal. So everyone else, all my other embryos were...
You mean abnormal?
Yeah, were abnormal. So we had one normal embryo. And you see, in Justin's problem and my problem, I should say our IVF problem is this. It's more mechanical. Justin just doesn't have a vas efferent to produce sperm, you know,
to release it.
So that's why he has to have surgery to get the sperm retrieved, right? So we don't have any other issue,
yeah.
You know, we don't.
Nothing else.
Nothing
wrong.
So it was shocking. I mean, I cried for weeks now. And then the worst part was our doctor, and I'm not saying that doctors aren't allowed to like have a life outside of, you know, their patients, sure. But our doctor was on vacation for a week. So I got the news on Friday, and we weren't even able to speak to him until the following Friday. So we had to wait an entire 7 days just to get answers as to what this test...
What it means.
So you see the abnormal and normal parts on the... you have a fur on your face. On... Look, a bunny. No. So you get... So, you know, it would say normal or abnormal, but then there was like numbers next to it, and I had... It doesn't, like, you can't find it on the internet. Like, you can't find the information. I have no idea what I'm looking at. I just know abnormal is probably not a good thing, right? Like, you want to say normal. And so, you know, it's like, what went wrong? Did something... Then your mind just wanders. Like, is there really something wrong with me? Was it what? And basically the answers that we've gotten were...
Kind of luck of the draw, if they've said just happens.
So a lot of times if you're going through an IVF journey and you choose not to do PGS testing, which I totally understand, you could have perfectly morphed embryos, but the inside could not be chromosomally...
all there.
So like one of our embryos, a couple of them, had too many chromosomes. But the thing is like, so like, you have, we can get into that all later, but they had too many chromosomes, and the chromosomes that they had too many of would have just resulted into like
either not taking or a quick miscarriage.
Exactly. Rigby! So loud. See, he's just drama. And then like one of our embryos was missing an entire
Chromosome, right?
chromosome, and then another embryo
had like multiple problems or something.
yeah, where they just stopped like listing them. Actually, I lied. So we had 3 embryos that were abnormal, 1 that was normal, and then 1 where they didn't get a conclusive result, meaning that the sample that they took, like the matter inside was too small, and they could rebiopsy it, which we were like, no, don't even bother rebiopsying it, because they didn't even know, like, because we didn't sit with nobody. We were on the phone. Because I did get a hold of a genetic counselor from
the lab testers.
So yeah, I got a hold of them on Thursday and talked to our doctor Friday, but she said that there's no evidence to show like
that there's an actual problem other than just.
But if they did a second biopsy and got a result, they don't know if that would cause damage or not. Like there's just not enough.
Too many.
Right, if there's too many biopsies, if that would be an issue. So we have a 50-50 shot of the dark whether our embryo number 2. Do you hear him crying again? He just cries. He's a whiner. I don't know what happened. I did not raise him to be a whiner. I probably should have coddled him like, oh, but he's a whiner. So we have possibly 2 embryos, but it's a 50-50 shot, and we just have no idea. So,
Rigby!
Bro! That's just our life right here. So it's 50-50. We have no idea if that is a good embryo or
a bad embryo. It's just kind of
if that's a 50-50 shot. And we kept the 2 embryos that we have.
Hey!
My face is like, bro!
I got it.
So that's kind of like what happened in a nutshell. I have to go back to work, but thanks for following along, and we hope that number 2 is going to be the last one. But at the end of the day, we are going to do whatever it takes to have a family, and you know, one day at a time. That is the new motto for 2020. One day at a time. Thanks. Say bye.
Bye. Say bye, guys.
He's playing with the bears, our dogs. And bye.
Bye.
Rigby and Penny. Bye bye.